Okay, okay. I'm on this beta thing for YouTube Studio Beta, and I have no clue what's up. Welcome to my very special edition of my religious life video blog. And you can see that ashes on my forehead. That Father Tony put some ashes on my forehead for this Ash Wednesday service at Resurrection 30th over there. So that means back at Resurrection at 30th over there. So that means that means we're having a you guessed it, Ash Wednesday service. So as far as we're concerned, everything else can be civilized about Ash Wednesday. And it's I got something interesting for this occasion from Matthew chapter 6 verses 1 through 6. And it says beware of practicing your your piety others in order to be seen by them. For them you have no reward from your Father in heaven. So whenever you give alms, do not sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do the synagogues and in the streets, so that maybe they may be praised by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward. But when you give alms, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your alms may be done in secret. Father sees in secret will reward you. And whenever you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and in the streets, at street corners, so that they may be seen by others. But truly I tell you, but truly I tell you, they have received their reward. But whenever you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. So that's the other. That was chapter Matthew chapter 6 verses 1 through 6. Okay, now now here on Matthew chapter 6 verses 16 through 21 it says, and I'm talking about fasting about this one. So here it is. Whenever you fast, do not look dismal like the hypocrites, for they disfigured their facts so as to show others they are fasting. Fasting. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that your fasting may be seen not others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Now here's an interesting part for you. Interesting part for you on verse 19. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust consumed, and where thieves break in and steal. But store for yourselves treasure in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consume, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So you have treasure in heaven. You have ideas about this one, because because only not only we are to ask God for our daily provision, but we also are warned against stockpiling material, wealth, or other treasures on earth. Do not store up for yourself self treasure on earth. And like I said, everything else is he said the same thing over and over again. Because here's why: treasures in heaven is not a vaporous reference to kindly thoughts in God's heart and some such platitude. And God's kingdom will ultimately rule on earth. Treasures in heaven are the things in of worth in God's coming kingdom, and such as justice. But what are the opportunities that you need at anything about treasures? I'll tell you what it is. The opportunity for everyone is to be productive, provision for everyone's needs, and respect for the dignity of every person. The implication, what is the implication? The implication is this: that we would do better. Seriously, we will do better to invest our money in activities that transforms the world, and then in securities that protects our accumulated surplus. Well, guess what? Here's the observation for you. It is wrong then to have a retirement portfolio or even to care about others, about the material things of this world for ourselves or for others. Do you know the answer is? I'll tell you the answer is. Again, both yes or no. Sounds like let's call the whole thing off. Of course, we can start. The answer is no. Well, here it is. No. The no comes from the fact that this passage is not the only one in the Bible speaking to questions of wealth and provision for those who are dependent on us. But what about the other passages? Has counsel, prudence, and forethought, such as those who gather little by little will increase the wealth, according to Proverbs chapter 13, verses 11, verse 11. And you know why? And also on verse 23 of Proverbs chapter 13, because the wealth and the good leave, you guessed it, an inheritance to to their children's children, because it guides, because God guides us to, Joseph to store up food for 7 years in in advance for famine, while you store food inside this food pantry, that little little house box. It's right across from my church, next to my church. At you know what I'm talking about. And Jesus speaks favorably in the parable of the talents. And where it has been discussed? Well, I'll tell you, it has been discussed of investing money in the light of the rest of Scripture. That's what Matthew tells us about this one, about says about it cannot be a blanket pro- uh, uh, prohibition. See, here's the observation for you. Here's the observation. Let's get this. The yes part. The answer is a warning. Warning sums up in verse 21 as far as we're concerned. Where your treasure is, there will will your heart be also. Will might be expected of this sentence to run the other way. Where is where your heart is, there there your treasure will be also. And Jesus' actual words, oh yes, Jesus' actual words that are more to be profound. And money changes the heart more than the heart decides how to handle money. And Jesus points not to you. It's not to you. You would try to tend to put your money into things that always matters to you. But the possession is this. You own will change you so that that you care more about them, about other things. But you know, the moral of my religious life video blog story is because on Ash Wednesday, all will go down to the dust, and the dust and the dust shall return, shall return. And guess what? You will choose carefully to fast, and just just to ask yourself this question: when are you gonna be fasting? When you gonna when you gonna be giving alms? When you give alms? When you give prayer? When you give fasting and others? But the only thing is this: choose carefully of what you own, for you will, guess what? Inevitably begins to value and protect it for these and protect it for these 40 days. 40 days. And you will learn a lesson to these 40 days, because Lent is coming this Sunday, and I'll figure this out myself on my religious life, either a video blog, or should I say my blog, as far as we're concerned, this Sunday. Because everything else given to life about, you guessed it, has the value protected, and to the potential, the treasure of everything. So that sounds good to you. Just like I said, where your treasure is, there is your heart. That's always. Anyways, I gotta get rid of this ashes on my forehead. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. But who knows? Give me some light stuff. Anyways, that's my very special edition of my religious life video blog story for Ash this Ash Wednesday. You know what that means? I'm sticking to it. We'll right back. We'll right back with hashtag Amal Choirs, only on Facebook Watch at Resurrection, and back to wrap things up at Social Coffee House. Commercial word.